In 2003, I was released by the Spirit of God to go forth in New Orleans, begin to announce to the leaders that New Orleans was going to be shut down. New Orleans was our Jericho, and that the walls was going to come down, and that we as a people was about to go to the promised land. When I say we as a people, I mean the so-called African American or the black race here in America, which we are in actuality, we are the real true Hebrews, those whose ancestors went through the process of slavery. Because slavery ended in 1963 with the March on Washington, many people that were still alive or alive during that time and still alive today have been in slavery. I myself was born in 1957, so therefore I was born during slavery. Slavery did not end with the so-called Emancipation Proclamation that the white man say ended slavery. God decides when slavery begins and when slavery ends. So we as a people here, the black race, the Hebrews here, has been following a biblical pattern. We've been through 430 years of slavery, and then God raised up our Moses, Dr. King, to bring us out of slavery, to prepare us for 40 years of wilderness wandering. From 1963 to 2003 is 40 years, and it was that time that God released me and told me to go and announce to meet with the leaders of North and tell them that the city would be shut down and the walls would come down. What we call a prophetic cycle is 3.5 years, almost exactly 3.5 years. Following that campaign in 2003, Katrina hit the city, the walls came down, flooded the city. I did not really know that the city was going to flood. All I knew was God said the walls was come down, so then the walls did come down. Now we are entering now the year 2012, and there's some great things that's going to be happening. I've listened to a lot of ministers who talked about things that's going to be taking place in 2012, just to see how they line up with the things that I'm hearing the Spirit says that's going to take place. The number one thing we as African Americans, or so-called African Americans, blacks, but definitely, absolutely, positively, Hebrews, we are Hebrews, are being called back to Israel. We are being called back to the promised land. If you can remember, Dr. King said, before he was assassinated, he said, I may not get there with you, but we as a people will make it to the promised land. That is significant. Dr. King was our Moses. He also made statements like, I've been to the mountaintop and I've looked over, but I'm not able to go into the promised land. And this is January. Today is January 18th. This is God is saying that we are to prepare to go back to the promised land. Matter of fact, we have until October of this year, 2012, to go back to the promised land. Now, this will be a sovereign move of God to get us back into the land. It's not like we're saying that you have to buy a ticket and get back, and you got to get a passport and so forth. And so all that is not even necessary, because this will be a sovereign move of God. A passport is not necessary because there's things that already has been done to prepare the way for you leaving this country. Now, one of the things about us, we as a people, we have so identified with our captors, because this is our land of captivity. We have so identified with our captors that we love this country and refuse to leave it. I remember talking to a gentleman about 2 years ago. I told him, I was in that land, and I told him, I said, we're about to go back to the promised land. And he said, where's the promised land? I don't remember what I told him at that time, but anyway, the promised land is Israel. And he said, this is the best country in the world. I ain't going nowhere. I'm not going to leave this Well, there's some things that's going to take place this year where you're either going to leave this country, the United States of America, or you will die. Now, why and how would you? God is finished with America. America has rejected God, just like King Saul rejected God. So now God has rejected America. All the guards and all the safety, the angels that guarded the four corners of America has been removed. And America now is in a position of being judged by God through other nations. God is raising up actually Russia and its allies to come and nuke this place. Now, I'm not saying that this will take place this year. However, we have until October to get out of here. It very well may take place this year. There will be an invasion of Russia and its allies against this country. Now, one of the things that has taken place just last year is we, as a people here, we who are Hebrew, former slave, we have declared our independence. We are no longer a part of the nation of the United States of America. What you see on the side of me right here is a copy of our Declaration of Independence. As it turned out, pretty much all the same grievances that America had against England and the King of England, we have those same grievances against the United States of America. So there's things that has went before you to prepare the way for us to leave this country. One of the other things is what you see behind me is this is Judah's flag. We are the nation of Judah. Judah is here in America. That's why we can sing the way we do. That's why we can dance. That's why anything that we touch, we really dominate, except economically. God is saving that part for when we get back into the land of Israel. Have you ever wondered why, and you hear it a lot, and say, man, it looks like anybody can come here to this nation and they just prosper and they can just get ahead, but we can't get ahead as a people. Well, we can't get ahead because this is our land of captivity. And just like when our forefathers went into captivity and foremothers went into captivity in Egypt, God do not bless you to super advance you in your land of captivity. When you come out of your land of captivity and go into your land of promise, that is where the blessings overtakes you and you prosper much. Now, you say, hey brother, you're making some strong statement. How can you claim that we are the Hebrews? There's Jews over there that's occupying Israel and occupying Jerusalem. Well, the scripture for that is Revelations chapter 3 and verse 9. I'm not going to turn to it. You can just read it. It says that there are those that call themselves Jews, though they are not, that they are of the synagogue of Satan. Those so-called Jews that are over there, these people have never suffered any of the penalties of Deuteronomy 28. If you was to read Deuteronomy 28 and all the curses that come upon the people that turn away from their God, you'll find that those curses fit us to a T. You would find also that the so-called Jews that are from Europe or Russia or Germany or wherever they're from, they was only persecuted for maybe 6 years, maybe 6 million of them got killed because they identified with our customs, with our religion, Judaism. So because they identified with us, they were attacked by the enemy. But they are not the real Jews. We are the real Jews. And what God is getting ready to do is actually, God is getting ready to run them out of the land because they have come in, they have taken the land, they have made deals for the land, and the scriptures talks about that, and they have divided the land. But God is ready for us to come into the land. As a matter of fact, the land is not even blessing them. Now you say, well, they had different wars in the land, and Israel won. Well, God is protecting the land. He's not protecting so much those people that are there. He's protecting the land. Those people very, very vile. They hold all to the same, many of the things that the Canaanites run out of the land. These people are practicing these things over there now. Matter of fact, and they still reject the Messiah. We have been brought to this land called the United States of America, and other lands out in the Caribbean, and all the tribes has been scattered all over the place. Well, we now accept Yeshua, Jesus Christ, as the Messiah through our slavery process.